Welcome back, one and all, to the top 8 cut of the Pokemon Knoxville Regional Trading Card Game Championships. These are the top 8 players and decks. Above me here, we have Piper Lapine with Palkia Intel. We have Lance Bradshaw with Arceus, Lugia, or Lugia is really what people normally call it. Grant Shen with Arcdura, came out of nowhere. Alex Shemansky with Vikavolt. We got Nick Moffitt with Lost Zone Rayquaza. We've got Rahul Reddy with Regigigas. We've got Brandon Salazar Slytherin with Eternatus VMAX Galarian Weezing. Disgusting deck. And Andrew Hedrick, the winner of the Orlando Regional Championships, the last previous regional championship, with another Lugia deck. So, a little bit varied here. We only have 2 Lugia decks, and then everything else is unique, which is very interesting. It's surprising to see Arceus make a top 8 appearance here. Would love to see Grant Shen on stream. I'm not sure who they put up in this top 8 match. I did watch top 4 and the finals while I was in the car on my way home from this tournament, so we will have to see exactly how this plays out here. It looks like we do see Grant versus Rahul. Oh, I did see part of this game. I didn't see the full thing. I did see a majority of this game. It's all coming back to me now. So we do have to cut a little bit ahead here. So we do have Grant Shen versus Rahul Reddy. We do have Arcdura, because we haven't seen it on stream at all in this entire tournament, versus Rahul with Regis. I will tell you guys right now, this is an extremely one-sided matchup. Arcdura should win 9 times out of 10. I do note that this game is a lot closer than that, though. So we will have to see exactly what the details of this are. So the general strategy that you want to go against Regis is, if they don't play Path to the Peak, you go full Duraludon VMAX, and they can't do literally anything. They auto-lose. It's 100-0. You always win. If they play Path to the Peak, it's not as favorable, but you can just go with the Duraludon V. You don't evolve it, because then the Regigigas is not able to one-shot you with a Choice Belt. You can just go ahead and take the 30 less damage with the regular Duraludon and use your Stadium that allows you to heal 30 as well. And then your opponent is just not really able to do much of anything. You put your big Parasol on your baby Duraludon and you just kind of go ham. Put a bunch of Metal Energies on it. I believe with like 3 or 4 Metal Energies it needs, I think 3, in order to just take one-shots on the Regis. So I did lose the team challenge, this previous team challenge, to this exact matchup. I was playing Regis. I could not for the life of me beat Arcdura in any way, shape, or form. It was completely one-sided, even with the Path to the Peak. That is how this matchup works on paper. However, sometimes if Arcdura does not get a good enough start, Regis can just get their God start, one-shot an Arceus V-Star, or even just an Arceus. If you can't get a second Duraludon V Max or Duraludon V setup, you might have to bench an additional Arceus V Star, and then that's another easy knockout with the Regirock. So, as long as you can potentially stagger your Duraludons and Duraludon V Maxes in order to be able to just get the, the God combo of indestructibleness. Rahul is playing 1 less Choice Belt in order to play the 1 Cape of Toughness in his deck for the Regi Mirror. So this will be very important as to whether or not Rahul will be able to find his Choice Belts when he needs them. Of course, he immediately starts a Choice Belt on this Gigas. Absolutely mind-boggling. We saw the Arceus V also just did the Trinity Nova, or Trinity Charge, to get the 3 Metal Energies to the Duraludon V. So again, that is exactly how you want to play this. You are going to be able to overpower by using the Duraludon. Now the thing is, with this Cape of Toughness on the active, it might actually get a little bit weird here. because that's going to cause you to need an additional 1 or 2 Metal Energies on your Duraludon. So that may force a VMAX evolution. But it looks like we're not seeing a knockout on the Arceus V yet. We do not have the full Reggie Brigade. We do not have 2 Auroras on this Reggie Rock. So we are likely going to see a Trinity Nova this turn. I would like to see another Duraludon V get benched and charge that up. And then you would have the option to go with either of the Duraludon V or V Max. With both of them, have them fully powered up. The Path to the Peak is in play from Rahul's side. I would have liked to see that be saved until you are attacking a Duraludon V Max. However, he did have to play the Research, so that would have been discarded had he, you know, not researched. It also does disallow the Star Birth from the Arceus V-Star, so having it in play this early is not the worst case scenario, but I'd rather always save it for the turn the Duraludon V Max comes into play. And we do see that Grant is not playing the Crystal Cave or whatever it's called, the one that heals his Dragon and Metal Pokemon. He is playing Lost City, so that makes this matchup even more one-sided. So Regis should have absolutely no shot to win this matchup whatsoever. We do not see another Duraludon V come down, though, so this is getting a little worrying if Rahul is able to go ham, get another Reggie Rock powered up this turn. We do see the Trekking Shoes gets into a Path to the Peak. He will have to keep that. He doesn't want to just waste his paths like that, so it will get Marnie to the bottom of his deck. He plays the other Path to the Peak that he had in hand. And he is going to make sure Grant has as small of a hand as possible. Looks like we do see an Energy Lotto here from Rahul as well. Looks like there is a twin. He's going to choose to get that. That will work very well for the Regigigas. Oh, Rahul's camera died. Oh, Rahul's camera died again. Looks like we are using Capture Energy to get out the Reggie Rock. All we need is Ice now, and we will be able to fully power up a dude. We've got another Choice Belt that's going down on the Alecki because it doesn't really matter. We are going to draw one. That is another Twin Energy. Very funny. And just passes from there. So we are going to see Grant go up on a 2 prize card lead potentially here. I would almost like to see Grant move the Arceus to the bench and put up the Duraludon and attack with that instead. Unless he gets another Duraludon into play here, which it looks like he is Ultra Balling for another Duraludon, so he can let the Arceus V-Star go down. It would be really nice to see maybe Boss's Orders and another Lost City here. Oh, we do see Boss's Orders. There we go. So we are going to be able to knock out the Reggie Rock. That will make it so the Arceus V-Star will be more likely to survive yet another turn. And it looks like we'll be going in with Alecki instead. We see Rahul still has his proxied Professor's Research. For those who don't know, one of his opponents in the first few rounds of the tournament did destroy his Full Art Juniper Professor's Research. So a judge issued him a proxied Professor's Research for use in the rest of the tournament. So it is that fighting basic energy that has been doodled on, as you can see. So he's going to play the Professor's Research. Yeah, it does have the judge's signature on it too, so you know. So we do see a Quick Ball. We'll get back out that Reggie Rock that was just Ordinary Rotted back into the deck. We also get an Aurora Energy into the discard as well. So long as we are able to move this Alecki, I do know that we have a... Or no, we Marnied away the Double Turbo, right? So we are going to have to charge up an Alecki, I believe. Do we have a Scoop Up Net, maybe? Nope. we are just going to hit 120 to the active, 40 to both of the bench Duraludons. I do believe that the Duraludons do reduce that damage, though. I'm pretty sure. I could be completely wrong. I have to read it. Does it only work when it's active? Yeah, this Pokemon takes 30 less damage from attacks. So these two only took 10. We'll have to see if that comes up. Yeah, it's not just when the... Oh, no, the Path to the Peak is in play. Never mind. Never mind. I missed that. I forgot again. So, yep, we see two overly powered up Duraludon Vs here. So, the only thing will be, can Grant protect himself from the Path to the Peak? Can he protect himself from the Regigigas? It'd be nice to see maybe a Lost Vacuum on that Choice Belt. Maybe a Boss's Orders to just bring up the Regigigas. We are seeing the 2-shot come down onto this Arceus V-Star now. We are going to be able to get rid of that with this Drago here. Take our first 2 prize cards of the game. We don't have any Duraludon V Maxes in play yet. However, that is perfectly fine. The Duraludon Vs can still take 1-shots on these Regis as well. And they are not as fearful of the Regigigas either. Although with that Choice Belt, the Regigigas can just hit 180 with the Path to the Peak in play, so... Looks like Rahul dropped a couple cards. They got picked up off of the ground, and we are going to take the first knockout. Will be on this Arceus V-Star. We are going to put up the big Parasol to Duraludon. The big Parasol is important because it will insulate the Duraludon from the attack of the Reg Ice. Reg Ice will not be able to prevent it from attacking in future turns. That is one of the ways that Reggie can actually come back in this horrible matchup. But again, since that big Parasol is in play, not going to happen. Rahul is going to have to boss up the bench Duraludon in order to attack with the Reg Ice should he want to do that. Looks like we are going to go for the Raihan, getting yet another fighting energy in play. Searching our deck for any 1 card. Probably going to be the VMAX here, just because some of the Pokemon here can finish off the Duraludon V, or the Regigigas can finish it off either way. So we are going to use the Hyper Potion. We are going to heal off the 40. So yeah, that's a lot better. So we searched for that Hyper Potion so that we can just attack with the Duraludon V. That is the perfect way that you play this matchup here. They are counting, so it does 40 more damage for each metal energy attached to the Pokemon, plus another 10. So 10, 5, 9. So that's exactly 130. Yeah, 40 times 3 plus 10 is 130. So we do see the Serena come down onto the bench to Duraludon V. And we are going to see the Regigigas get fully powered up here. It can hit for 180 damage because of that Choice Belt. That will be enough to finish off the Duraludon V with the Path to the Peak in play. So the thing that's punishing Grant right now is that he does not have any way out from these paths. So this should be a very, very favored matchup for him. But because he cannot seem to get a way to replace Path to the Peak, he is hurting. The one Lost City was great, but Rahul immediately replaced it with another Path to the Peak. So I would love to see more here. We are going to scoop up net the Regirock. There is already one Regirock in the Lost Zone, so Rahul does scoop that up so that that cannot be bossed and knocked out. Because if that gets Boston knocked out, then he has no more access to Ancient Wisdom for the rest of the match. And we do see the boss's orders, so that could have come up this turn. So good play by Rahul, being able to use that scoop up net. We do have a fully healed off Duraludon, I believe, again. How did he heal that? I'm not sure how he healed that. Am I missing? Was there another hyper potion I missed? I don't think so. Because they both had 40 on them, right? Both the Duraludons. He must have used double hyper potion at some point, I guess. I don't know. So we're going to draw 2 here. We're going to trekking shoes. Keep the choice belt. Speed Lightning Energy is such a good card. Path to the Peak is still in play here for Rahul, so he will be able to hit through this Duraludon B's Hard Coat ability. We are going to see the Marnie, so again, making sure that Grant has the least amount of options to replace the stadium. Grant also plays, draws with the Marnie in the same way that I do. He just puts his hand up to be offered to cut, but draws while he's doing it because you can just put your deck on top of that hand pile that was shuffled up. Saves just like a couple seconds of time, really. We are going to Ordinary Rod here for Rahul. We see a rebench of the Regirock. First, we have... Do we have Drago in hand? No. So it almost would have been better if he didn't bench that Regirock. No, it definitely would have been better if he did not bench that Regirock. But but Grant needs to find another attacker, and he just doesn't have one. He needs to be able to remove this Gigas because that's the Pokemon in play with all of the energy. He is 1 metal energy short from being able to take the knockout. Either that or he could just evolve into the VMAX. Then he would be 1 fighting energy short. So we'll have to see exactly how that goes here. We do have another Hyper Potion. We do pass. So, since there is no Path to the Peak in play, he is not able to take any damage. However, Rahul may be able to play out of that. He can retreat his Gigas into a Drago that he can get off of this Ultra Ball, then draw a couple of cards, maybe try to get into Path and Scoop Up Net and win the game. Not quite sure exactly how we're going to go about this. Looks like Rahul is just choosing to retreat into the Bad Lucky. He might go for the Electromagnetic Sonar here this turn, actually. He is Ultra Balling for that Regidrago. And again, yeah, he is getting punished for having put that... for that Regirock onto the bench. Because that could still be in deck, and now Grant is 1 boss's orders away from being able to make sure that you can't attack. We do see the Ancient Wisdom, and then the Path to the Peak comes back to hand with Bad Lucky's Electromagnetic Sonar. So really great play from Rahul there, but again, would like to have seen that Regirock not still be in play. So Grant is going to grab the Arceus V. We're going to need to see the, I guess the Gigas go down. Either the Gigas, no, we want to see the, we need to see metal, we need to see fighting energy, boss's orders on the rock. We see an escape rope, so that's going to force Rahul to put something different up. Probably just thinning the hand to see if Rahul will make the mistake of putting rock up, but I think that's like very unlikely. Looks like Gigas does go up, and we are going to see a Marnie. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I think I would have liked to see the boss's orders, but if you don't have the fighting energy, then you don't have the fighting energy. 3 of them are already down, I do believe, and usually this deck only plays 3. So, yep, the Path to the Peak comes down, and then Grant scoops. So that was a very unfortunate game one here for Grant. It came down to the fact that he was relying too much on attacking with the Duraludon Vs, to the point where he finally managed to remove the stadium, and then did not have the fighting energy to attack with the VMAX. So, did not necessarily play it wrong, just very unfortunate draws from him. Those Marnies really stuck from Rahul. Nothing super relevant prized on either side here. We do see the double turbo, which is what I would have liked to see in the first game, so that we could hyper potion off something that isn't called fighting energy. We'll have to see if this Arceus V is able to do a little bit more this game. So we are going to Ultra Ball. Also very important to note, players start with 75 minutes in top 8 most of the time. Vast majority of the time. I believe maybe it was Salt Lake. There wasn't that much time. I think it was only 65 minutes instead, because they wanted to kick us out of the venue as fast as possible. But yeah. Yeah, the TO can decide how long the top 8 matches are, whether they're 65 or 75 minutes. Normally, they go for 75 minutes. Rahul is taking notes on what his prize cards are. He definitely needs to know which Regis are available to him at the bare minimum. Looks like we do get a early gift energy. That is always good to see super early. I never see it until the last turn of the game, generally. But we do get the Cape of Toughness as well. That does not really matter in this matchup. Arceus V-Star is going to be taking the knockout either way. And we are Regigating for Bad Lecky. So it looks like we are Ultra Balling. We're going to get that Arceus V-Star out here. We will be able to use the Star Birth should we choose to do that. I don't see why not. We will be able to get the double Turbo Energy and a Duraludon V, potentially. Looks like he is eyeing up those two cards. So he might be trying to Star Birth for that. Got to prize check a little bit here as well. And we're also preparing the metal energies for the Trinity Nova as well. So just making multiple actions in one here. So Ultra Ball for the Arceus and already has his next two actions already eyed up. So Star Birth, Rahul flips the V-Star marker for him. Attaches double turbo, bosses up the... okay. Yeah, bosses up the Drago, Trinity Novas to his Duraludon V, puts 3 metal energy on it, is able to take a prize card as well. So that Regis comes back up here. We are going to Speed Lightning to our Regieleki so we can draw a couple extra cards. Looks like there's just another Speed Lightning energy in hand here. And it looks like maybe another Regigate. Rahul is not doing so well in this particular game here. We're going to get Steel out this time. Would be really great to see if Grant is able to get into that Lost City. We see another Colress's Experiment come down here. He was able to play a couple of those in the last game. Colress's Experiment is a very interesting card in this deck. It just lets you dig 5 deep and keep 3. It's a little bit better than playing something along the lines of Avery or Tierno or Worker, whatever they're called. You don't necessarily need to be Lost Zoning things in this deck, as you don't play anything along the lines of the Sableye or Mirage Gate even, but you can, you can just thin your deck of cards you don't really need by using that Chorus as well. So we are going to see the Trinity Nova yet again. We are likely just going to be stacking even more energy onto this Duraludon V. Looks like we are choosing not to, which is perfectly fine. If you had another Duraludon V, I would try to charge that up, but we are going to see the Regirock come up. Is Rahul going to be able to get the Brigade and the double Aurora in discard all in this turn? I don't think so, since he was not able to do it in the previous 2 turns. I don't think much has really changed about his hand. Oh, he does get an Aurora Energy off of this Trekking Shoes into the discard pile, so that is pretty good. We are also going to see a Hisuian Heavy Ball. We will now be able to see all 6 of our prize cards. We do know that there is a Drago in there, so we will grab that. He also clears off his notepad because he's just going to write down what all 6 of his prize cards are. So yeah, I'm starting to... those digital sketch pads there are really starting to grow on me. Oh, that camera glitched out a little bit there. So it looks like we are playing the Ordinary Rod. We are going to shuffle back in Drago and Ice. Now, Rahul still has, like, some semblance of hope in this game, but he is very far behind. Grant's going to take 3 prize cards potentially before Rahul is able to take his first 2. We are going to quick ball away. Looks like boss's orders. We're going to finally have the full Reggie Brigade in play. Rahul has at least 1 Aurora in discard. If he has 2 and any other energy, we may see the attack with the Giga Impact this turn to one-shot this Arceus V-Star. We also see the Path to the Peak and the Research. Looks like he's choosing not to play the Proxy one. He wants to play his Full Art one. His non-damaged Full Art one. Yep, we see double Aurora Energy and Gift Energy, so Rahul has everything he needs now. I think I would have liked to see the hold of the Path to the Peak, but he did have to discard that with the Research, right? So might as well play it now, then discard everything else with Research. Rahul crosses off what he just took out of his prize cards. We do get another Duraludon down there with a quick ball. This one will be a lot harder to set up. We do get a Raihan, though, so we are able to get that Metal Energy on it. We can search our deck for any 1 card. Looks like he is eyeing up Fighting Energy. Would not be too terrible to get onto it. If you're Grant, you really don't want to be knocking out the Regirock here, but since you did use Raihan for turn, you really just don't have a choice. They still have about 48 minutes left in the match, so they have plenty of time to complete 2 games, should Grant be able to win this one. We also see the Lost City. Not only does that get rid of the Path to the Peak, but we will be able to see a Lost Zoning of the Regirock. Already has 7 cards in hand, so the Gift Energy doesn't really do anything. Top deck Serena for turn. You could bring up that Duraludon V that is 1 energy short of attacking, I suppose, but I don't really know how far that gets you. You could Serena discard the energies from your hand to try to draw more. We are going to see a Capture Energy come down to the Bad Lecky. That will be able to snipe onto the bench at some point. That has been fully powered up just on hard attachments from hand. We are going to fully power up this Regidrago, and we are going to hit for 160 because the Choice Belt cancels out the Duraludon's Hard Coat ability. Duraludon takes minus 30, but the Choice Belt is allowing you to do plus 30, so. We also see a Marnie from Rahul here as well, a Trekking Shoes, discarding yet another Marnie. We are going to see a Quick Ball here as well to get back the Regirock that he Marnied to the bottom of his deck. Looks like he scooped that up, I missed that. You want to not put that in play since your first one was already lost zoned. You want to hold that in hand. Nope, and then just puts it back down. Yep, so this gives Grant the ability to just boss up the Regirock and effectively win the game off of that. Because then he can just VMAX and just start taking knockouts left and right. He has 3 prize cards remaining. Still has a Lost City in play. Yep, has the boss's orders in hand, so I would definitely like to see the evolution of the active along with the boss's orders of the Regirock. Rahul will now no longer have any Regirocks available to him for the rest of the game. And all that he has as setup attackers are the Regidrago and the Regieleki. So Rahul definitely threw this game by benching that Regirock. He did scoop it up and then immediately just puts it back down. So don't know what he was thinking there. That's kind of the brain fog that I have too, the tunnel vision. So, but that is something that you can't afford to do in top 8. And Rahul is punished. So we are going to see, can Rahul get to a path to the peak here? If he can, he might still be able to knock this out. What we got? 6, 12. 160 on there. And I think Rahul just scoops here, it looks like. So we are going to go on to a game 3. Yeah, he would have been able to knock out that Duraludon should he been able to get into the path to the peak. But I think at that point, you're just a little too far behind. Especially since the next Duraludon just comes up, takes the knockout on your only Pokemon with energy that can attack. Looks like we got 3 Regis prized and an Aurora here from Rahul, so this will be really hard for him to win as well. He might be able to heavy ball enough times to get all of his stuff out of his prize cards, potentially. But it looks like they are all different Regis. Thankfully, none of them are duplicates. So say he prized double Regirock, he'd probably just lose the game. We're going to see that Ultra Ball for the Regidrago. If he has Scoop Up Net, he might be able to draw some extra cards this turn. Or even just a Twin Energy to retreat. Either way. Twin Energy to retreat would be definitely better in my opinion. And we do see the Twin Energy attach. He does not have to retreat yet. Looks like he is choosing not to Dragon's Horde this turn. I think maybe he'd rather leave the Regieleki active. He does have 2 cards in hand. I would have liked to see the Dragon's Horde for 2. Just to potentially get more Pokemon into play, get them more set up. I like holding the path. And you do have a Marnie in hand as well. So yeah, I would have loved to see the Dragon's Horde here. So we are seeing the Evo Incense is getting an Arceus V-Star. Grant is also checking his entire deck to make sure that he knows what his prize cards are. Looks like the camera or the table there is shaking for some reason. We see a boss's orders to bring up the ice. And a Trinity charge to yourself. That is very unfortunate. Even putting the fighting energy on there, I'm not sure if I agree with that. I think I would have liked to see metal instead. just because that fighting energy is so important for the VMAXs if you want to ever attack with a VMAX. So there is the Path to the Peak, the research as well. Looks like we top decked that, so we don't have to play the Marnie necessarily. Yeah, I don't think that Grant has very many cards in hand, so I don't think that using Marnie would really do too much here. We are going to discard the Choice Belt with that Aurora energy. We have a Quick Ball. Looks like to discarding yet another Choice Belt, maybe? Not sure I like that. And we are just going to go for the Regigate, it looks like. Rahul is playing slow and steady at this point. Knows that he has time since there's only a Arceus V in play. You know, the Marnie might have been better because you know your opponent has the Arceus V star in hand. And that can get them double Duraludon V at the very least. With the Starbirth ability, V star power. Oh, he has a lot of fighting in hand. There's like 2 fighting energies in hand. He's going to discard one with the Ultra Ball. Yeah, this is a very awkward hand, and I don't like it. But looks like we are going to get a Duraludon V into play now. We are going to evolve into the V-Star. We are going to Starbirth, I believe. Or maybe we're going to save it for a... Oh, no, because the Path to the Peak is in play. You can't do that. So we are not going to Starbirth because Path to the Peak is still in play. We are going to just charge up to our Duraludon V. So we can Gatling Slug on a future turn. Either that or we can evolve into the Duraludon V Max. And this goes to show why Lugia specifically is so good. When you are playing against a deck that plays something like the Path to the Peak, you can just discard it. You can just discard it with the Lugia V-Star's attack. More cat hair on my monitor again. So we are quick balling away a Path to the Peak. So that is one less path that Rahul will have access to in this game. So that's just 1 down, I believe, so far. Grant is going to have to find his big Parasol. And maybe his VMAX. Maybe a boss's orders to get rid of the Regigigas. Maybe Lost City to Lost Zone the Regigigas. Rahul is only playing 2, I believe, for the Regigigas. So if you can boss that up and knock it out with the Lost City in play, that is your ideal situation to be in. Looks like we are discarding Escape Rope with the research there. Don't really recognize that. That must be a newer Art of Gold Escape Rope, because I'm pretty sure there was a different one previously. But I could be wrong on that. So we are discarding Serena with the Aurora energy. We're going to scoop up net, put up the Rock. And we have the full Regi Brigade. So we are going to be able to charge up this Regi Rock. And we are going to use Giga Impact for the knockout on the Arceus V Star, putting up the Duraludon V. And because that Cape of Toughness is in play, this might actually force an evolution into the V Max, which will then just feed into the Regigigas, because there is that twin energy on the Rock that would go to discard. As long as you get another Rock, you will be able to charge up the Gigas with the twin energy and 2 of any other energy attached for turn, and then just kind of win the game, because you have that Choice Belt on there as well. So you really need to replace this Path to the Peak this turn. You need to potentially evolve into the VMAX while getting a fighting energy. I believe you have one in hand already, unless that was Marnied away. I believe it may have been. And it looks like he does have one in hand. Does Lost Zone a Hyper Potion? Not ideal to see that. Switch is perfectly fine. You only have 1 Pokemon in play for the rest of the game. Yep, we do VMAX, we do get the fighting energy, we get the Lost City. Do we have the boss's orders, though? No, we don't. So Rahul just needs to get another Path to the Peak down and attack with Regigigas, and he effectively wins this match. There is the Path to the Peak. He has energy in hand, he just needs another Rock. He is going to Heavy Ball. We are going to see what our prize cards are. We get the rock out of the prize cards. Absolutely unbelievable. Prizing those Regis actually helps Rahul because he has the heavy ball for the Regirock. Oof. And this goes to show you how even bad matchups can be won sometimes. We are going to attach the Aurora Energy. We are discarding a Regidrago, which is perfectly fine here. We are going to use Ancient Wisdom to put 2 more Auroras and a Twin Energy onto this Regigigas. We're going to attack for 330. That Path to the Peak, shredding straight through the ability of the Duraludon VMAX, and now all that Grant has in play is this Arceus V. He was forced to bench on the last turn so that he would not lose to bench out. And what are you going to do with a Arceus V? The only way you could attack with it this turn is if you were to go Raihan double turbo energy and then evolve into the Arceus V star. And even if you do that, Rahul just puts up the Regirock, puts down another Regigigas, and wins the game. So yeah, that was very unfortunate for Grant. He just got really bad draws. That is how Duraludon do be drawn sometimes, though. So Rahul does end up winning, gets another top... did he get top 4 at OCIC or something? But he's getting like another really good record here as well. So very unfortunate for Grant. Good that he was able to make it to top 8 with a deck like Arceus Duraludon. But that is it, guys. Do not forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Feed that YouTube algorithm. Only about 15% of you as of time of recording are subscribed, according to Watch Time Analytics. So therefore, if you are able to subscribe, you can help increase those numbers, get us back to monetization. And yeah, I apologize in advance for the top 4 match. That's all I got to say about that. I'll see you guys then.